Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So over the last 9 years, I've made over 500 YouTube videos. I've built my main channel to 1.5 million subscribers. And now I work with some of the largest brands in the world, helping them grow their YouTube channels as well. So what I want to do in this video is share 7 things that I wish I knew when I first started doing YouTube. And these are really lessons that would have saved me years of trial and error had I known them beforehand. Because here's the thing, if you actually want to turn YouTube into a serious business that not only grows your personal brand, but also makes you money as well, then it's really the fundamentals that matter. And look, I've taught thousands of business owners how to grow on YouTube, both in person, but also inside my program, YouTube Creator Pro as well. And the exact principles I teach there, I'm gonna be sharing with you in this video. So by the end of the video, you'll know exactly what to focus on, what to ignore, and how to build a channel that not only gets views, but more importantly, converts viewers into buyers. So let's dive into lesson number 1, which is who, not how. So the biggest mistake that people make when starting out on YouTube is focusing on how, not on who. So everybody starts out by asking the wrong question. They'll say things like, how do I make really good thumbnails? How do I edit my videos faster? How do I write better titles? And don't get me wrong, all of that stuff is really important, but people completely forget about the who. Who is it that you're actually trying to reach with your content? Because you could make the perfect video. You could make a video that gets 1 million views, but if those 1 million people are the completely wrong audience, let's just say they're children or they're just people who never buy from you, then that is not a successful video. So instead, the single most important thing you can do when starting out on your YouTube channel is get crystal clear on who it is you're talking about. You need to know exactly who they are, and you need to be in a position where you can articulate your ideal customer profile and their problems better than they can articulate them themselves. So a really good example of this is one of my students, Jamin. And his channel isn't flashy, his thumbnails aren't crazy, but he knows exactly who he's talking to in his YouTube videos. So he's basically got a channel that specializes in helping students get into Oxford and Cambridge. And because of that clarity, because he knows exactly who it is he's targeting in his videos, over the past few months, his YouTube channel's done over $80,000 because he knows exactly who he's targeting, so he can speak their language. And once you know exactly who you're targeting, you can tap into things like their emotions. You can actually connect with your ideal viewer, and doing things like writing titles and coming up with thumbnails and writing scripts all becomes so easy because you know who it is you're actually speaking to, right? So the first thing that I want you to do when it comes to growing on YouTube is get crystal clear on your ICP. And your ICP just stands for your ideal customer profile. And you need to be in a position where you can articulate their pains, their goals, and the exact words that they would use to describe their own problems better than they can do it themselves. And when you can do that, YouTube gets so much easier because you know exactly who it is you're actually creating content for. And if you actually want help with this, then I've built a completely free ICP AI prompt that's linked in the description. And what it will do is it will help you define your audience in 10 minutes flat, so you know exactly who your videos are actually made for, and then that will mean your ideas, thumbnails, and titles, and everything else from there becomes way more easy. Lesson number 2 is to stop chasing views and start serving your viewers. So I was recently doing a YouTube mastermind with a client of mine, and his name's Ollie Richards, and he runs a super successful YouTube channel with nearly 500,000 subscribers, and the channel's done over $10 million for his business as well. And I asked him a question. I said, what is your goal for subscribers this year? And he just looked at me and he said, I couldn't care less. In fact, this is him saying it here. In terms of subscribers right now, is there a goal that you want to get that to?
Truth is, I couldn't care less.
Couldn't care less?
No,
okay,
I don't care. Because I think that channels benefit from having a large number of subscribers.
Yeah.
But it makes no difference to us whatsoever if we had 5 million rather than 500,000.
Yeah. Subscribers are very vanity metrics.
Yeah.
Someone who subscribed to you 10 years ago might still be subscribed, but they don't watch your content.
Right.
So it's not like a good understanding of how engaged your audience actually is. And that line really stuck with me because Ollie understands something that most creators don't. Subscribers and views mean nothing if they're not targeted or focused. So that's kind of building on what we just talked about in the previous lesson. The big problem people have is they obsess over view counts. They think the more views I get, the more money I'll make. But that is just simply not true. You see, I've literally seen creators who are averaging 2,000 views per video make 6 figures from their channels. And then I've seen channels doing hundreds of thousands of views making literally nothing because they're just attracting the wrong audience. So your goal on YouTube isn't to get more views, it's to get the right kind of views. And you always want to focus on the viewer and not the number of views, which kind of goes back to the whole ICP thing that I said earlier. You want to know exactly who it is you're making videos for, because then actually making the content becomes not only easier, but it becomes more targeted. And when I say this, people always go, okay, I get that, Oscar, that makes sense, but how many views then should I be aiming for on my channel? Well, if you're in a position where you've got a back-end offer, you've got something you're selling on your YouTube channel and everything is set up properly, you're creating videos that speak to your ideal viewer, then all you need is 500 views on average per video to get at least one sales call booked. That's the rough number. So 500 views should equal one sales call or consultation booked on your channel. And 1,000 views should mean 2 sales calls and so on. So 1,500 views would be around 3 sales calls booked from your channel. So that's all it really takes. And let's just say you've got, a $5,000 program or whatever, from just a few thousand views, you can start making tens of thousands of dollars from your YouTube channel. That's how this whole system works. Now, lots of people come to me and they say, Oscar, look, I'm getting like 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 views per video, but I'm not getting any sales calls. What's wrong? And if that is the case, then it means the messaging in your videos is not good enough. It means you don't understand who your ICP, who your ideal customer profile is well enough. And even though you're getting views, your message within the video isn't resonating with those viewers. Does that start to make sense? So your goal really should be, if you're doing 2,000 to 3,000 views on average per video, that's easily a 6-figure business. But if you're getting that number of views, but you're not booking in sales calls or people are not joining your email list, then you need to get even more crystal clear on who it is you're targeting, what problems they have, what goals they want to achieve, and then make videos that actually speak their language. And that's really how you start to build a business on YouTube. It's all about relevance. It's not about reach. You always want to focus on relevance over reach. Depth over reach is what we're really trying to do here. And we want to build a relationship with the people who actually matter on your channel. So when you stop chasing views and you start serving your viewers, the leads and everything start taking care of themselves, and making money from your channel actually becomes very easy. Lesson number 3 is to start building systems in your YouTube channel. So the truth is, doing YouTube takes a long time. It just takes a long time, right? If you've also got a full-time job, if you've got a family, if you're currently running a business, and now on top of all of that stuff, you've got to start building a YouTube channel. It's like having a full-time job on top of your current full-time job. And the honest, brutal truth about YouTube is this. If you do not systematize each part of the creation process, then doing YouTube is never going to be sustainable long-term. What does that actually mean? Well, basically, you want to kind of break down the YouTube journey into different chunks. So you can see I've got idea, title, thumbnail, script, film, edit, upload. That's kind of like the whole process of creating YouTube videos. And so for me, on my main channel, the one that teaches magic tricks and has got over 1.5 million subscribers, every single part of the YouTube creation process, I've systematized into these different chunks here. And it basically means I've got a system for ideas, I've got a system for titles, I've got a system for script writing, I've got a system for filming, I've got a system for editing, and I've got a system for uploading. And what that means is when you systematize each little part of the whole process, there's no overthinking. There's no creative burnout because it's just plug and play for every single thing that I do. And it means me and my team can really quickly make videos because although of course we tweak things in each video, the core structure of our videos never change. For example, this is a video I made a few days ago. As you can see, it's hit nearly 400,000 views in just a few days. And people always look at that and go, wow, that must have taken you hours and hours to make. But it didn't. This video, we literally made it in half a day, and it just follows the same systems we always use. And we just change around a few things like the messaging or the title or the thumbnail, but the overall structure behind the video is the same as all of our other ones. And that is the power of systems. Systems make your videos really reliable. It means it's really fast to make them. And it also removes all the guesswork and just lets you focus on what actually matters, which is creating really good content. So if you want to stay consistent on your YouTube channel long term, then you've got to stop trying to reinvent the wheel for every single YouTube video that you make, and instead build out systems for ideation, titles, thumbnails, script writing, everything, and then just follow that system with every single video that you make. And when you do that, YouTube stops being chaotic and instead it starts feeling like an actual business. And really just think about this for a second, right? If you're a business owner watching this video, you will have a system for sales calls, right? You will have a system for onboarding new clients. You'll have a system for all parts of your business. Well, YouTube is exactly the same thing because YouTube is a business. You've got to start treating YouTube like a business and systematize the whole thing. Because when you do that, making content becomes fun, fast, easy, and effective. So lesson number 4 is to understand the YouTube funnel. So if you want to make money from your YouTube channel, the biggest bit of advice I can give you is this. You need to stop thinking in terms of individual videos and start thinking in terms of an overall content strategy on your channel. And you need to basically see your YouTube channel like a funnel. So imagine this here. Imagine this is your YouTube channel here. And you've got 3 sections to your YouTube channel. You've got top of the funnel, you've got the middle of the funnel, and you've got the bottom of the funnel. And basically, this is where viewers discover you on YouTube. And this down here is where they buy from you. And the whole point is your videos need to take people from just viewers all the way down into buyers. Now, so how does this work in terms of YouTube? So the top of funnel content is designed to get as many views as possible from the right kind of people. And this is going to be your browse-based content. So this is like the big attention-grabbing stuff. So let's just hypothetically say you had a channel that taught sales. All right, your top of funnel content, we're creating this to get as many views as possible. As such, the titles and thumbnails we need to make need to be more sensationalized. It needs to attract more people. And the title you might do is something like, I don't know, I closed $100,000 worth of sales live. Watch me do this live. Something along those lines, bad example, but it's broad, it's exciting. And people who are kind of interested in sales will be like, oh, that's interesting. I'll click on this video. So your goal here with top of funnel content is awareness, not conversion. You're not trying to sell people in this video. You're not trying to get them to buy your stuff. You're just trying to make broad content within your niche, within your vertical that attracts a large number of people so they actually know who you are. So that's conversion. The next thing you then want to do is create middle of the funnel content. And this is a lot more educational. This is where you start solving specific problems for your ideal viewer. So if we take the same sales YouTube channel, for example, it might be something like how to handle certain sales objections, how to write a sales script that actually converts. And what you're doing with this middle of the funnel content is we're not trying to get as many views as possible. Rather, we're trying to take specific problems that our ideal viewer actually has, and we create content around this. And this is going to be very search-based content. So top of funnel content is browse-based. Middle of funnel content is generally speaking search-based, which is how to do insert thing here. And the whole point of this is to start building trust. When you start solving specific problems for your ideal viewer, they'll start to trust you, like you, and start thinking about working with you. Then the bottom of funnel content is all about proof, as you can see here. And this is kind of like your case studies, your transformations, your success stories. So let's just hypothetically say within your business, you helped someone get really good at sales and now they're making $10,000 a month. You might create a bottom of funnel video breaking down this experience with this individual. Now, these videos here, again, they don't get many views. We're not trying to get lots of views on these bottom of funnel videos. In fact, if you made a bottom of funnel video and it got 100,000 views, you're doing something wrong. Instead, we're just trying to get really specific targeted views from these people who've already discovered us at the top of the funnel. And we're just trying to basically show them that if they work with us, they can actually trust us, like us, and we can actually get them results. Okay, so that's basically what the YouTube funnel looks like. And I want to break this down in terms of a content strategy for you now, so you know what to post and when to post on your YouTube channel. So this is how I'd structure it. If you're posting 4 videos per month, create 2 top of funnel videos each month. So these are the broad videos that are designed to get more views because those videos are going to grow your channel. Then you create 1 middle of the funnel video each month and 1 bottom of the funnel video each month. And what this combo does is allows you to grow your channel, but also your revenue at the same time. Because these videos here, these are for views, whereas these 2 videos here, these are for revenue. And the big problem that a lot of people have is they only ever make top of funnel content. And if you do this, you'll get lots of views, but no buyers. If you only ever make bottom of funnel content, you'll get people who trust you, but your channel will never grow. So you need to make both top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel content. And that's when you can create a YouTube channel that attracts the right people, it educates them, and then it converts them from viewers into buyers. And honestly, guys, that is the absolute best strategy. It's the strategy that all of my clients use. And several of them make, hundreds of thousands of dollars each month from their YouTube channel with only a few thousand views on average per video. So lesson number 5 is to remember where you are in your YouTube journey. Because if I'm going to be totally honest with you guys, it was harder for me to go from 0 to 10,000 subscribers than it was to go from 10,000 to 100,000 subscribers. And I'll be perfectly honest, the easiest part of my entire YouTube journey was going from 100,000 to 1 million subscribers. Why is this? Because you've got to remember, in the very, very beginning of your YouTube journey, when you're about here, 0 to 10,000 subscribers, YouTube doesn't know who you are and it doesn't know who to show your videos to. As such, it's so much harder to get traction when you're in this part of the journey. And the second thing is doing YouTube is a skill. If you want to get good at doing YouTube, you've got to learn how to make really good thumbnails, how to do really good titles, how to script your videos, how to edit, how to speak on camera, how to become good at storytelling. You've got to get good at all of this different stuff. So naturally, your first 20 to 30 videos, if you're just starting out, they won't be very good. And because of that, they don't deserve tens of thousands of views yet. And that's fine. Everybody has to start right over here. Every single YouTube channel you've ever seen, including Mr. Beast, including me, we all started right here. But once you're able to push through that, once you're able to start, creating good videos, and once you're able to start showing the YouTube who your actual target audience is, the algorithm starts to know, oh, this channel teaches this particular topic and the videos are very good, we'll start to push it out to more people. And when you start doing that, you gather momentum. And basically, that's why YouTube gets easier the longer you do it. So YouTube goes from kind of being this grind where like, oh God, I've got to make a new video which gets, 5 views, to this thing that's actually really fun and rewarding. Because on my main channel that teaches magic, like YouTube already knows who my audience is, it already trusts my channels. Every time I make a video, I don't have to reinvent the wheel to get a lot of views. However, if someone's just starting out a magic channel, it's a lot harder for them. So this is what I want you to remember. This is the golden rule with YouTube. If you can make one video per week for 52 weeks and just improve one thing at a time, YouTube will change your life. I can't tell you exactly how it will change your life. I can't say you'll have this many subscribers. I can't say you'll have this many views, but I've never seen someone post one video per week for 52 weeks and improve one thing at a time and not have YouTube change their business or their life in some way, shape, or form. So that is what you need to commit to if you're watching this video and you're fairly new to doing YouTube. Create one video per week for 52 weeks and improve one thing at a time. And the key here is to set input goals, not output goals. Set input goals, not output goals. So what does that actually mean? Well, don't focus on saying, hey, I want 10,000 subscribers or I need this many views, because the truth is you can't control that. That's the output. You can't control the output. What you can control is the input. And that means showing up every single week and improving a little bit each time. And if you do that, you will win on YouTube. So focus on input goals, focus on the things you can control, and that's how you'll succeed on doing YouTube. So lesson number 6 is all about dealing with the opinions of other people when it comes to creating content on YouTube. People often think, oh my God, I want to upload YouTube videos, but I'm scared of what my family and friends will think. What if people find out? What if they judge me? And honestly, I relate to this so much. When I first started my main channel teaching magic tricks, I didn't tell anyone about it for years. So I actually specifically remember I hit 100,000 subscribers before I told a single person that I actually had a YouTube channel. And I still remember the day I just hit 100,000 subscribers and I got given my silver play button, which you can see back there. And I unboxed it and I was sitting in my room at university and I'd looked at this thing and I was like, oh, amazing. I've got this silver play button. And then someone knocked on my door. And I panicked and I hid the award under my bed because I didn't want anyone to know I had a YouTube channel. And it was funny because then someone saw it, they found out, and eventually the whole university knew that I had a YouTube channel that taught magic tricks. And I was so worried about what people would say about this until I realized no one cared. Literally no one cared that I had a YouTube channel. And there's a fantastic quote by David Foster Wallace that sums this up perfectly, which is, you'll stop worrying about what people think about you when you realize how seldom they do. Everybody's got their own lives, everybody's focused on themselves, they're doing their own things, and people don't think about you nearly as much as you think they do. And when you actually internalize that, when you actually realize that people don't care about you that much, it's so freeing because it means you can just create content and not worry about the opinions of others. So if your videos suck at the very beginning, well, it doesn't really matter because no one's going to see those videos anyway. And if the videos are really good and they're getting lots of views, well, that's really good because it means you're making good content, so it doesn't matter if people see it. So either way, you're actually going to win on this whole YouTube thing. And the real risk isn't that people are going to judge you. The real risk is you never start creating content because you're worried about what other people think. So what I really think you should do is ask yourself, what will you lose by not starting out on YouTube? What business deals will never happen? What clients or people will you never meet? What opportunities will never show up because you were just too scared to begin? For me personally, I've been so blessed by YouTube. I've flown around the world. I've written a book over there, which is best-selling and sold through YouTube. And YouTube's completely changed my life. But none of that would have happened if I'd listened to the little voice in my head saying, oh, what will people think about me? So if there's one thing I can leave you with, it's this. The moment you stop caring about what people think about you when you start creating content is the moment you start living the life you actually want to live. So let that sink in and actually start creating content. So lesson number 7 is to start outsourcing your YouTube video editing as soon as possible. Now, creating YouTube videos, as we already discussed, takes a long time. And what you've got to start doing is start thinking of YouTube from the lens of a business owner. And when you look at the entire creation process, ask yourself what takes up most of my time. And for almost every single person, it's video editing. Video editing usually takes around 70% of the whole creation process. And the second you outsource that, the second you outsource video editing, you get back between 60 to 70% of your time. So The biggest bit of advice I can give you is the first thing you want to outsource is your video editing, because it frees up 70% of your time, and suddenly you can then just spend all of the rest of your time focusing on strategy, ideation, and stuff that actually moves the needle. Now, the question people always ask is like, okay, Oscar, I get that, but how much should I spend on a video editor? Very simply put, just follow these guidelines. You want to spend around $150 per video that's edited. And if you're posting 4 videos per month, that's around $600 per month. And just view this as a business expense. Just view this $600 per month as the cost of running your YouTube channel operation properly. And of course, you can find video editors for less than $150 per month, but generally speaking, they're not very good. And you'll spend more time going back and forth, re-explaining things with them, and it ends up just costing you more in time and energy. So $150 is the sweet spot for a really affordable, good, reliable editor who you basically pay per video, and this allows you to scale the channel without actually taking up loads of your time. So when you outsource editing, you free up 70% of your time, and then you free yourself up even more to focus on what really matters, which is the idea, title, and thumbnail. That's really the needle mover when it comes to growing on YouTube. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video and you got some insights from it. And if you actually want to know my entire system for creating YouTube content in just 1 hour per week, then watch this video here.